Long ago in London, 1800 something. Wait a minute. We've done this before, haven't we? Wait a minute. This sounds a little. Oh wait, I didn't do the countdown. I was gonna do that after the countdown. I've ruined the joke now. Anyway, here's the. You know what? Forget the countdown. We're here now. And I've also put the video on screen by accident beforehand, but I did render it this time, so I'm prepared in that way. Anyways, welcome back to the Butter Bunch. My name is Jacob Butter, and today I'm here alone because it is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all those that celebrate it. And you can tell that people who celebrate it most likely extend to both of my usual co-hosts here. Neither of whom are here today. BB said that she wasn't going to make it. For obvious reasons, but and then Aiden, of course, as is also obvious, said nothing. So here we are. It's you, me, and our friend Fester, and also Steve. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyways, part 3 of this of the trilogy of VHS Christmas carols from 2023 that Team Starkid has graciously allowed us a peek behind the curtain for, albeit in a presumably temporary fashion. Now, again, this video came out on November 8th. It has been 20 days thus far, as of the time of this stream. We don't know how long a limited time only actually is, but it's definitely longer than usual, I will say. Not that I'm complaining, because it does in fact mean that we can keep these public without worrying too much for at least a little bit longer, which is definitely nice. Because, yeah, I'm missing out on the chance to do Thanksgiving gachas this year because, for something that will ultimately be somewhat temporary, unas annus and such. So, no, there is in fact no one here except for myself, of course, and, yeah, and you in the chat and such. So, there we go. Yeah, no idea. By the way, in case I was wondering what on earth is going with that curtain over there, that's me just blocking out like my my laundry rack, because normally it's in a room over there. But I decided to bring it in here so it would dry faster, because guess what? That's right, the heating works. And yeah, there was. Yeah, I had a whole conversation with the landlady about that. She basically told me the same advice as before: turn the dials on the radiators, which didn't work previously. I explained there was no on-off switch that seemed to be activated for them, as she alluded to. She almost turned up here actually to investigate for herself, but right before she did so, I actually, or right before she was about to set out, I randomly put my hand on one of the radiators, and turned out it was actually warm for the first time, I think, ever since I've been here. So then I said, I don't know why, but 2 of these are working, because I turned one off on purpose, and I guess the other one I didn't check. And she said, "Oh yeah, because that's what they're supposed to. They're timed to start from 6." What? What do you mean they're timed to start at where? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I missed out some sort of detail before, but she said that like it was the most obvious thing in the world, except for the fact that if it was obvious, I wouldn't have been asking at random times, why is the heating not working? Like, you can tell what time our WhatsApp messages, show up on someone's phone. There's the timestamp there. Like, you can very clearly tell that, when somebody's messaging you at a time where the heating is apparently supposed to be off, which is a thing that she knew because it was programmed from last year, apparently, and seems to be confused about the matter. Yeah, that's the thing about this landlady. She presents information as if it was obvious the whole time, and then when people ask follow-up questions, she will explain it to you as if you don't speak the language, because I think a lot of people when they first meet me think that I won't speak the language because of where I come from. So yeah, that's why I try to not inquire to her until things get super dire. Like, for example, I can see my breath as I breathe out in certain areas in the rooms. But yes, it's definitely warmer here. The floor is still cold, so I've got a blanket wrapped around my feet, but that's better than normal. So So there we go. I'm no longer suffering quite as much. Also, by the way, she said that there was time for 6 to 9. It did go off at 9, but it turned back on at 10. So I don't know. Is there a second programming? I don't know. The only thing that I tampered with was the temperature itself on the dial that she told me about. I didn't program any timestamps in at all. So yeah, I have absolutely no idea about anything. There you go. Actually watching this on my phone while my dad's for Thanksgiving. Well, okay. I'm sure. I assume this is before, or maybe during like one of the down times when you're not actively partaking in family time or meal time or such. So there you go. Hopefully, anyway. But if that's the case, then you're on a time crunch, so we better get a move on. Then it's time to do something that is something to do with Christmas on Thanksgiving, because of course that's what's going to happen. All right, so I guess without further ado, on with the review. I should probably start from the beginning. Here we go. And yes, I read the video. Been playing with the cats. Oh, okay. And it's still cold though, actually. I had the timed cheer from the audience. And they didn't know what was going to happen already. Come on, people. You knew this was going to happen. Here we go.
Long ago in London, 1800 something, 1224, the day before Christmas.
Okay, I just realized something as well. Yes, so it seems like there's two of the pair of them are working on the keyboard this time. I believe it was just the one last time, right? In the 2022 version that we saw. Because I think Meredith had to perform. Love it set. Yeah, of course. Again, narrator's hair is appropriate in this, compared to everyone else's costumes that we've seen thus far, which makes me realize, oh, wait a minute, hold on, we're about to see more more 80s styling, aren't we, for everyone else? Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting.
There's a greedy old geezer named Ebenezer, a mean man of money and of business.
But basically, what I was trying to say before about like the duo of the pair of them together on the keyboards, I think that one of them is about to move soon, and that's why they're preparing for that.
He never laughs and he never smiles.
He's a total dick to man, woman, and child.
And a total jerk to Bob Cratchit, his clerk.
So far.
And he hates Christmas and he hates fun. And he really
Wow, got an actual line.
He hates everyone! The only thing he doesn't hate are making money and work. Right?
And if you say happy holidays, he'll shout his favorite phrase.
Bah humbug! Bah humbug!
Okay, difference immediately. It seems that this Scrooge, instead of elongating that last humbug, seems to go with a more staccato approach of being like bah humbug, like immediately, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a definite contrast to the vibrato that Dylan Saunders offered at this point.
There's no meaner dude than Ebenezer Scrooge.
Bah humbug! Bah humbug!
Yeah, like it is much more like spitty and aggressive, which, yeah, to be honest, is more Scrooge, honestly.
If you see his frowny face, just turn and run away, 'cause he's gonna come and ruin your day.
No one ran away. They didn't take the narrative's advice. That's their problem.
There's no better dude than Ebenezer Scrooge.
There's no bitter dude. I think there was no meaner dude before. Interesting. I do remember at one point they actually said that during one of the performances of VHS Christmas Carol Live, they actually they changed this. They changed the line. I think it was you lot that told me this last year when we watched the other version. That apparently Christmas Electricity, when we get to that song, I will reiterate the story once we get to the line in question. I think actually, pretty sure that Scrooge is AJ Holmes, aka Gilderoy Lockhart. Yeah, that's what I've been told as well. Again, by you lot, but yeah, pretty sure.
So Scrooge is working, and his clerk is clerking, when in walks Fred, Scrooge's nephew.
Hi, Scrooge, Merry Christmas.
What the hell is this?
Okay, immediate different energy here from Fred. I'll say, like that, like from the first like 1 second of that, this Fred seems much more timid and less like energetic and bursting with Christmas electricity, which I'm wondering if that's gonna come across for the rest of it. Again, just going by like the entrances, because the thing is that everyone is familiar by this point with this version of with the VHS Christmas Carol as a concept by the time that they saw this, as evidenced by all the cheers and such. So the fact is that the surprises always come from like the variations, and you think like, and when you see something that's different that fast, you think to yourself, where are they going with this? So that's my question: where are they going with this? That the Fred is played by the same guy who plays Tiny Tim. Oh, so he's still Tiny Tim in this version. Okay. Again, it could have been someone else. I wouldn't know.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God bless you.
What's so merry about it, Fred? Aren't you still super poor? Aren't you still in debt?
Well, what's so terrible about it, Scrooge? You're still rich.
Yeah, this seems like much more like down to earth and honestly less 80s. Interestingly enough,
Uncle Scrooge.
I was also speaking of that. I mentioned before, like I was expecting like a lot of like 80s clothing. So far, not really. This is well, I mean, yeah, we've got sweaters and such, but other than that, it's like a relatively timeless attire from most people thus far.
Scrooge, I'm just saying hey and inviting you to dinner on Christmas Day. You're my family, even though you're a total dick.
Scrooge looks in his nephew's face. He knows the perfect thing to say.
Bah humbug! Bah humbug! Christmas with you and your wife. I'd rather take my own life. Bah.
Okay, now we have the vibrato. With anything, actually, this now I'm thinking that with the way that like his gait and also the staccato and now the vibrato alongside of it, this Scrooge definitely portrays like older, more so than I guess Dylan Saunders was a grumpy curmudgeon. Don't get me wrong, but I get more of like the age implication from this version. And again, I'm not saying one is better than the other set. I was highlighting the differences. You don't come to your own conclusions. Although, of course, I'm going to come to my conclusion by the end of this. But hey, Jacob was lonely, being one and only. Though the video was there laden, but there's a ringing while he is singing. Oh, guess look, here is Aiden.
Yes.
Oh, so you made
Caca.
I thought you had Thanksgiving plans because
I mean they have Thanksgiving. I really didn't participate because issues with food. But just kind of chilling today. Also, tired, so fun times. So yes.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, just a warning outright. This video is going to be twice the length of the past 2 weeks. So we'll see. Yeah.
I have a feeling BB is not going to join us. I don't
Oh
know
no, she's
why.
not. She's got Thanksgiving stuff. No, she mentioned that before. Yeah. I already highlighted that, but yeah.
And Shorty isn't joining us, which is not surprising.
Oh well, I hadn't even that even crossed my mind as a possibility. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. There's two of us now. Let's continue.
Humbug! Bah humbug! Goodbye, good afternoon.
Okay, I love you too.
Freddy's not surprised, he always knew.
Okay, that's another thing that's different. Well, actually, two things. One, because again, Fred's delivery of "Okay, I love you too" more sarcastic than Corey's. I've blanked on his name for a second there for some reason.
Wow.
But also Corey himself sang the "Fred's not surprised, he always knew" line which struck me as odd because we had a narrator before. I guess now they've decided to fix that.
There's no better dude than Ebenezer Scrooge.
And we're still saying bitter instead. That's yeah. Again, that surprised me. I think Mina honestly works better with this.
Just then, two men come up to the door.
And see, we have two. We have a different. Well, first of all, Starkid Harmonies again, classic. But we have two other characters narrating themselves anyway. So why take the line away from Fred?
Requesting, collecting donations for the poor.
Okay, the accent has improved. I'll say this much.
They
What
don't
do
know.
you mean? The accent is, that accent is super authentic, obviously.
Well, I just mean like that's like the accent that everyone like pulls when they're trying to portray Victorian London in general. You know, it's the classic it's the classic like attempt at Cockney accent that will like imply a character is poor.
We love the Cockney accent from Mary Poppins.
I wasn't referring to Mary Poppins specifically.
I mean, it's pretty common.
Although I guess it's nearly the same time period. Mary Poppins is set slightly after the Victorian era, that like very slightly.
Which is greedy, that he doesn't care about the needy. So they ask old Ebenezer, please show some love. Scrooge kicks them out with a big old bah humbug.
And there's the cue to him, Jim.
Here's my man Bob Cratchit, wrapped up in a warm jacket, 'cause Scrooge keeps the place freaking freezing.
And Jacob sure knows the feeling.
God, you know what? You know what would have been cool if they made him one of the homeless people singing, like the poor people. You know,
I think he's played enough homeless people.
Yeah, but I think it would be fun, a funny reference. Or well, I don't know. Wait, I don't know if this came out before the Starkid stuff.
Oh no, this was after. Yeah.
Okay, this is after. It would be a funny reference. It'd be like
the Dylan this version has more harder story. The other had more humor and great sound. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I guess like the scale of the production also doesn't really help with the humor right now. Or at least like not in this part. Then we're still setting up, so who knows?
Not to be rude, sir.
God damn it, Cratchit, start speaking!
Well, you see, my family, they're kind of a real big deal to me.
His words trail off in a voice timid and soft.
And I was thinking, since tomorrow's Christmas and generally a pretty slow day for business,
Let me guess, Bob, you'd like tomorrow off.
By the way, I like the way you just like the way it was timed, like for the stream, where it's like his voice trailed off in a voice so timid and soft. From you.
Well, that all should be there in the actual recording now. They should have actually had someone go,
No, this is when we announce our cover album with us included.
Starkid cover album coming soon, where we cover a bunch of
So let-
songs.
All of them in one album, jeez.
Let me get this straight. You skip work and still get paid. Why don't you just rob me, Bobby? Or steal food from my plate?
Yeah, I'll say this, the face as well. Again, another thing where you can see how condescending is. Not to mention, because now they're not working with that stage, the thrust stage. I've almost forgot the word there. Again, it's been a while since I've my theater training. Yes, that's the name of it. We have like where it like goes into the audience essentially. Yeah. Yeah, but just look at this. Well, first of all, I mean, if you want a Hatchfield reference here, red and blue, Nightmare Time. But also
yeah, but that's also cops. That's also the colored cops. We're cops. We're cops. It would make sense.
Which, if you recall, was the first Hatchetfield production that we saw, at least. Yeah. Battery. But yeah, besides all of those things, the fact is, because we don't have that thrust stage this time, and we have a little bit of like a little bit of a platform for him to go on top of. He's actually able to go up and tower above him to imply that he has power. Yeah. Yeah, actually, let's see, they're doing a time to talk about Miraculous again, but they're doing a lead up into when they eventually debut the Miraculous London special tomorrow. They've been doing like a week of Ladybug, but at like a certain time, and like they've finally brought back season 5 onto TV because normally they recycle the first 2, and
Really?
I yes, and particularly the one scene that I wanted to reference here was the one where was the one where Sabrina tries to turn on Chloe and Lila just twist all the words that she's saying like in the moment. The thing is, like, when that happens, Lila.
I mean, I've got to be honest.
Sabrina, when that happens, Sabrina is backing down away from her, like from the steps, because they're like all the way at the top of the classroom. She's backing down from the steps. So you see her sort of like timidly shrinking away as she increases in the confidence that she like barely had in the first place. And we see, and then we cut to Lila approaching the camera, towering over her as like she becomes like a scarier and scarier presence for her. Say what you want about the scene, but that is peak cinematography right there. That's what I wanted to point out. And it's the idea. It reminds me of this. It reminds me of this because the power dynamic between them and how condescending Scrooge looks in this one snapshot alone.
I mean,
that's what I wanted to get at. Yeah.
But I will say about that scene
is connected.
I will say about that scene though, the twisting the words wasn't done well, but so was most of Lila's lies. Like Lila would be like, "Oh yeah, I just got in this morning." And then like a day, and then like a second or two later in the conversation, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I saw the meteorite yesterday." It's like, didn't you say you got in this morning? No, I said I got in 2 days ago. Obviously, it's like you just said you got in this morning. It's like, well, yeah, it's like, yeah, of course. I got in 2 days ago.
That was somewhat the point, wasn't it? So that when someone called her out for it, they get increasingly more frustrated.
Yeah, but like the whole lying. I mean, Lila's one of those characters who kind of everyone has to be stupid for her lies to work, and that always frustrates me.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah. The issue that I have is more like the other people's reactions to her rather than the character herself. I love the character herself, but whenever everyone only the other people. That's also, the issue. That's
also, all you had in season 5 or post reveal was annoying. Like, remember that scene of Adrian in the cafeteria where she's like, "Oh, Adrian, you don't have to defend Marinette." It's like, dude, you already know Lila lied because
this is another Lila situation. Yes,
yeah. Lila in season 1 said she was best friends with Ladybug, and guess what? Marinette didn't like her during season 1, and she's Ladybug currently. And she didn't like her from the start in season 1. Therefore, why?
I'm gonna be completely fair to Alia. I personally, if I were in her situation, I would not remember that would have happened, considering how many events have transpired since that day.
I mean, yeah, but the series also takes place over a course of 9 months, which is kind of one of the things.
Which is still a long stretch of time. Where
it is a long stretch, but it's not been like 2 to 3 years. It's still there's still a decent amount of time, and I'm surprised Marinette never pointed out that lie, but
again, maybe because of the increasing, things that have happened since then. Well, even concerning Lila, she probably would have forgotten about that in the first place. Sometimes the people that you hate without remembering the origins of the hatred as well.
Although you know what sucks though, they got rid of the Alia apologizing to Marinette scene. They got rid of that from the episode where Lila got exposed. That was the deleted scene that they were going to include, but then it's like,
oh right, okay. I was about to be like, well, I mean, if you're talking about scenes they got rid of, I wouldn't know about them because they got rid of that. Those ones scenes they got rid of, and I'm like, dang, I kind of feel like we needed that scene because come on, it kind of owed Marinette a bit of an apology, even though. God, it's just Marinette deserved a bit of an apology, or at least acknowledging, hey, I'm sorry. All this time, I didn't actively believe you at any point. I owe the chat an apology at this point.
I love talking about Miraculous. I love talking about Miraculous.
Honestly, so do I. I just know that that's not what they're here for. I just want to talk about that one scene with the cinematography.
Well, I mean, I assume they're here for us at this point.
Honestly, there was some.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like they're
okay.
They're here for
yes,
us. As well. They're here for us at this point. They're not here just to watch our reactions. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. To be honest, it's not too much of a problem because at least we get this poor snapshot of Scrooge and Cratchit here.
Oh,
because to be honest, this could be a meme format. Honestly,
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, anyone on the stream, if you want to make this a meme format, we would approve. But also just saying about the lighting real quick about the scene. I kind of would have reversed the lighting actually for this scene, or put Scrooge and Red in Bob
And
in blue.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob and blue, just because like reds tend to be associated with more aggression / anger, you know, bad, you know, and then blues tend to be associated with good, you know, maybe even sadness, you know, softer.
There is another association with blue lighting, because blue lighting makes people look more pale and sickly than they actually are, depending on like what shade of blue you actually use, which means that it could be used for the spirits later, in contrast to Scrooge.
That could work. Yeah, but I don't know. It's one of the things where I would have actually reversed the lighting and had the red be on Scrooge and blue be on Bob. That's how I would have
that's what. Yeah,
just do a little.
Yeah, I know what you said. I was just adding on to that idea with like more reasons for blue not being here.
You're lucky I'm so understanding, even though you're so demanding. Okay, have your way. Come in early the following day. But before you go, please wait. There's something I need to say. The humbug!
The sun goes
Wow, much more screamy. By the way, I think the video went out of sync on the stream, so I apologize for that.
down a London town. Scrooge closes up and he heads out.
Isn't in most Christmas Carol show tellings though he either threatens to fire him or makes him going in Christmas regardless?
I'm not sure about the second one, but the threatening to fire him does sound like him.
Because like I like this is kind of weirdly slightly nice for Scrooge, where he was like, okay, fine, you'd have tomorrow off, but you're coming in early the day after. It's like, okay, sure. I mean, I'll go in early. I mean, if I, got Christmas off, okay.
Hold a second. I don't love AJ. Sorry, I accidentally hit send.
Who's AJ?
AJ Holmes, the actor of Scrooge in this version. Yeah. So far, I am enjoying the contrasts for sure. Like there are some things that I think the Dylan Saunders did better, but like that bar humbug screen there, second to none.
Humbug.
I'm gonna rewind 2 seconds just so I can hopefully sync the video back up again.
And he heads out. He gets back home but doesn't know this Christmas he won't be alone. And though the day is done, Scrooge's tale has just begun. Let's see how he does this Christmas, 'cause it's the story of the meanest man there ever was.
Okay, I can hear it all.
The crabbiest, the baggiest, the grouchiest, the frowniest, the angriest hater, the creepiest hater, the prettiest hater, no one neater than Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, now they say Nina. Is that too hard? Come on, people. I'm kidding. It's fine.
I mean, maybe it was have
still
some
white.
it was probably have some lyrical variation.
Well, yeah, but bitter isn't bitter isn't a comparative adjective. It's a normal form adjective. That you need something. The reason that meaner worked is because of the comparative adjective is like something being like at the end. So like meaner versus mean. The thing is that bitter by default already has the at the end, so it's not a comparative. It's just a normal one. So yeah. All right.
Scrooge is about to eat some gruel in silence and solitude when a distant sound slices through the quiet and solemn mood.
Okay, now she moves. Fair enough.
Coming from behind the door.
In blue. There we go.
Each sound closer than the one before. Suddenly, even though it's closed.
Well, I mean, she's wearing like jewelry chains basically, but I don't think that she's wearing like Marley style chains. Close enough.
I like the Marley style chains though. It's so great.
Honestly, agreed, but I guess that would probably be difficult to move with all of the different cables and such.
I once saw a Christmas Carol play when I was like 10, and like one of the ghosts, I think it was like Christmas. I think it was either the last ghost or Marley, the first one, terrified me. I was remember terrified. I was like, oh god. It was like I was like 10, 11, 12 maybe. I don't know. I was terrified.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I was 8 when I saw the first version, and they open up with one of the spirits crossing down. I think it was those ghosts were yet to come. But actually got to like the end and then like the music changed after like the boom 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 as they went down to the audience, and then suddenly just where it starts like it had like a moment of like just like breaking into a dance routine with a completely different music. I was like, okay, all right, fine, we're this is not scary anymore. That's the same thing, by the way. There's like a Madrid Madness blog post where we find out, I think it was like 10 actually, not 8. Where we find out that because we were studying Christmas Carol at the time in English class, and I happened to have gone to see it, about to go to see it, I actually was asked to tell people about the play itself, and my I can't remember, it's my mum or dad's words. I'm not sure who was writing this, but they said that apparently I gave it such a good review that the class was scrambling to get tickets. So clearly I've been reviewing things, for a long time, basically. I do remember gushing over it, but yeah, I guess because I went to more detail than saying, things were it's good or it's, or I like
thing
this,
is good, therefore you should see.
Yeah, like that's not,
What do you mean? Those reviews are so great. I see those reviews all the time. It's like, wow, this makes me want to see the movie 10 times more all of a sudden. Thing is good, therefore see.
I like how 10-year-old me managed to do that by instinct, and yet there's so many people that just don't try that on YouTube nowadays. I've seen I've got the research list, which is Muppets Christmas Carol. That's also a version that I've seen.
I like the Muppets Christmas Carol. I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, so do I.
Through the door, see-through man wearing chains of clothes and dragging them across the floor and frozen in fear. That's the ghost man draws near. Scrooge gives a shriek as the man begins.
Is she dragging them across the floor?
Okay.
The actors are moving too. There's nothing on her feet, or at least visibly on her feet. Maybe the pants are covering it.
Yeah, I would have had to at least like move or like mime or something, if nothing else. Yeah,
I don't know. Have her shuffle her feet a little bit. I don't know. Shuffle.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, she does like a little bit of room to move forward, but maybe she's saving that for when Jessie starts singing. Speaking of which,
to speak.
Remember Marley, your old partner and friend? Just thought I'd drop by, I was in the area. Remember Jacob Marley, your old partner who's dead? You're in for one crazy night, just to prepare. Life on the other side isn't a party, at least not for Marley, alright? I come from the other side to give you a warning that before the morning light.
Before we move on to this, because I get too invested in this song, honestly, I will say that Marley looks a little bit almost too put together. Yeah. Again, going back to the Gift of the Magi situation with Della, where she almost looks too fancy to be given like how poor she kept on saying that she was. Same thing with Jim, honestly.
Because I feel like her clothes should be like, I don't know, maybe not ripped or like kind of like all over the place. Like I'm pretty sure her shirt's like perfectly tucked in. Maybe her shirt be like slightly untucked in certain areas.
Yeah, it kind of seems like this version Marley dropped dead while doing business, which honestly is very possible given Marley's character.
I mean,
but
yeah. I mean,
but just like on a course of a normal day, just be like, oh yes, I'm going about my thing. I'm very put together. Oh no!
Yeah, but like I don't know, this version of Marley so far, like it doesn't really give tortured vibes to me. It doesn't give like you're like in like a state of chains and you're like suffering and you're not in a great place. Like she kind of gives off businesswoman who is just like, hey bro, you should change your ways. I'm gonna go back to being a CEO and girl bossing the world. Whee!
The other world, in fact.
Like honestly, this isn't really giving like Marley, or at least the traditional sense of Marley. Which I mean, Marley was like one of the like. At least in like the normal stories, like one of like the biggest warnings, like look how horrible Marley's fate is right now. I gotta change my ways before I end up literally just like him. You know, like that's the more traditional Marley is like a warning, or like the most like the first major warning.
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
like the ghosts start popping up more often throughout the night.
You'll be haunted by 3 spirits. 3 spirits.
Hold on, I thought for a split second that she was wearing coat hangers, but no, those are headphones. Okay, surprisingly small for the 80s, but maybe they were like that. I don't actually know. Oh no, I skipped back by accident.
Oh god.
Yeah, hold on.
There.
No, we're about here. We're
There,
about here.
yeah.
By 3 spirits.
There we go.
3 spirits. So Scrooge, you gotta listen, cause they're coming for you. Talking about 3 spirits. 3 spirits. Christmas spirits on a mission, and they're gonna for you.
Oh, I was thinking.
Who are you again?
Scrooge, don't pretend. I'm Marley, I'm your dead friend.
Yeah, the fact that
Okay.
recognize Marley normally is usually like a sign of like how different he actually is in his afterlife form.
Also,
Yeah, how different is Marley exactly right now?
also, by the way, like it's been a while since I like watched or like read or anything related to the Christmas Carol, but like, is Marley this coherent with the explanation of what's going to happen tonight? Like, is it this coherent where you're telling him exactly what's going to happen? Because
I'm
like,
fairly certain because Marley seems to have orchestrated everything. Or at least
yeah, but
I
is
think
it
so, anyway.
this coherent? I don't know, because like I don't remember it being this coherent where it's like the 3 spirits are gonna visit you, like stating 3, giving a bit more details. Like I thought it was a bit more vague, like spirits are coming for you, like not giving hyper specifics, just a vague enough of something's gonna happen, you know.
Well, I definitely know that the number was suggested because Scrooge didn't believe them at first, but he by then was like, okay, fine, you're the second spirit, get us over with, so I can get the third one and be done with it, basically. So he knows the number at least. In some versions, there's Marley also states, Marley also states like which ghosts specifically are going to be there. So other times it's the ghosts themselves that do it. Like in this version.
I feel like it's more interesting if the ghosts say it themselves, not, Marley.
I just wearing the headphones because who's doing the music on with my headphones for the costume. Okay. I'm trying to imagine Marley flying around asking 3 ghosts to help his buddy out. Yeah, well, I mean, depending on the ghosts themselves, they will probably, be compassionate.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Marley ain't looking like they're suffering over here, so I wouldn't be.
Okay, yes, this Marley. I think Fest was saying Marley in general for this comment.
Oh yeah, Marley in general. Yeah, but this Marley. Oof. I don't see.
Believe it, don't want to hear it.
No way, am I your first spirit?
You're just indigestion.
Oh.
What a suggestion to a ghost.
Am I your first spirit? Man, am I really that intimidating? Come on.
You're not even that intimidating. You look like an average person.
Maybe not for this time period, but yes, somewhat.
That's pretty offensive.
You're just a nightmare.
Stop you right there.
Fine, you're real. What do I care?
Scrooge, I was like you in.
Oh, I forgot if they actually did that in the other version where Marley has telekinetic powers. I don't actually know because again, the way that I tend to replay that version is when I'm doing something else where I want the music in the background.
I cared only about myself and continuing success in our profession.
See, I can imagine Marley actually walking around like that while alive.
My spirit never grew in life. I only grew my wealth. And you probably guessed, but yes, I'm not in heaven.
Not from that appearance. I can't guess you wouldn't be in heaven.
Like her gloves why are her gloves blue? Like they're kind of giving me janitor glove vibes. I'm getting janitor gloves.
I don't know. Ghost?
Ghost, but the rest of her is a blue. They didn't give her like blue makeup or anything to convey if the blue is intentional.
Her lips
Isn't
are
that right?
purple, but other than that, yeah, not so much.
Are her lips purple?
These
They
I
look
mean, her
purple.
lips
Well,
are-
again, it might be the lighting.
Yeah,
as well.
maybe a lighting. They may be just like a glossy shade of red or something like.
Oh, there could be. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because red and blue mixed together make purple. Yeah. So yeah.
scary chains I wear are also around you. They've already found you tied.
Oh, interesting. Like a little bit of like a sob there, almost.
And my scary fate you'll share unless you can
Yeah, your
wake
scary
up
fate,
and
girl.
listen to
What?
Jacob, 'cause tonight
Your fate doesn't look scary.
My scary
No.
fate. Like, okay.
Mhm.
Ooh. Oh no. I could be a CEO in the afterlife too. Oh no.
I guess this comment also explains Fred being more dancey before. I guess maybe. I still kind of miss that.
you'll be haunted by three spirits.
And yes, we've seen the lineup already because of the thumbnail. Well, I guess we have because I spliced the thumbnail for these 3 parts. But
Scrooge, you gotta listen 'cause they're coming for you.
Wait,
I
are they
will
all
say, yeah, he
visiting her
doesn't-
now?
he doesn't normally see them beforehand.
he
that
doesn't-
is that is
he-
unique to this version, I think.
He
Yeah.
doesn't see them all together in any story, I don't think. Like, he sees them individually. One goes,
Yeah.
the other comes later on.
Mhm.
It's like,
Talking about
Yeah.
three spirits, three spirits, three spirits.
Oh, and they have Christmas yet to come, saying 3 spirits as well. So I guess she has more lines than just Ebenezer Scrooge this time. Good on you, Jamie Burns.
On a mission and they're gonna for you. The first will come when the clock strikes
Also,
one.
I don't like the future one very outfit wise because like I don't know, the future one always gave me like darker vibes with her outfit.
Almost like
or
you
with-
weren't supposed to see its form. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like it was all cloaked, darker. I don't know because like
Then,
this,
then,
like
then again, I will say this that portraying the any of the spirits in stage form would be almost impossible. The Christmas Past is meant to be like a float, like a candle type of thing.
I mean,
which
fair,
is-
but I don't know. I feel like the last one should be a lot more intimidating because the last one, I like her dress. Her dress is cool, but also, I don't like the fact
It makes me
that
think of the
she's
Christmas
final
Future one that I saw all those years ago, where they broke into dance out of nowhere and then
Like-
disappeared for the rest
like,
of
it's
the
a
show
nice
until
dress,
its actual
but,
time
like,
to come back.
maybe like, I don't know, at least make the dress black, I would say. Make the dress black, give it a hood. That I feel like that would work best.
I mean, that is just every other Christmas Future outfit, to be honest.
Well, I mean, most of them aren't women, I don't think.
Oh wow! It's so unique in theater to
Yeah,
gender swap the
it's
character.
yeah,
I've
it's
never
not...
seen that before in any Starkid or theater
Okay,
production as a whole.
listen, I'm all for the classics though, okay?
Oh wait, what if they had big poofy hair that obscured their face? Miss Bellum.
Okay.
Give them the Miss Bellum treatment. Like give them
Yeah.
black dress, Miss Bellum treatment. Bam.
I will say, I said this last year about me not being an expert on 80s fashion, but still, there's some things I can somewhat discern with this. Like very clearly, Christmas Past year is dressed as a one of those workout instructors in 80s videos. The other ones I'm not entirely sure, but I assume that they are references to something else that was popular in the 80s, and that's why they were dressed like this. Mostly tied to their musical numbers rather than specifically, like what spirits they were, which I guess you can take as better or worse depending on what they were trying to do, lean towards the VHS thing or to the Christmas Carol thing. I mean, sure, they're also all in white, fine, okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some
but-
with uniformity to them, but Scrooge is also in white, Marley's in white. That's not really saying much at this point.
Yeah.
Not
Also-
entirely,
also,
but, you know.
Also, I personally don't like the idea of the ghosts being uniform, though. I imagine they're just very different ghosts with very,
That's usually the idea, because obviously with so many adaptations over hundreds of years, we've had so many. The creativity of what they look like is part of the fun almost with.
Yeah, and I feel like
with these
I
adaptations.
feel like you sometimes lose a bit of stuff with uniformity. I'm good at words. You think you lose some potential creativity or cool variation. They also look very, very normal, very human. I kind of wish that the actors had like a bit of makeup on them that made them look paler, like maybe like I don't know, makeup that like kind of made them look like they have bags in their eyes or something. Maybe like give them. I mean, I guess that wouldn't work as well.
That's kind of difficult to portray, like in this in this shot. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell whether or not they're made up in any specific way.
If they all came together, it could save some time.
They'll be done before the morning sun, and they might have a chance to save your life.
Jacob, do you need to be so over the top and mean to me?
Scrooge, we live so greedily
Oh, wait,
and
Jill.
indecently did we need.
What?
It's Jacob. Jacob.
Did you not? Yeah, Jacob Marley. That was that's always been the character's name.
I'm used to. I'm not used to hearing the first name. Okay. Listen, it's not one of the Christmas stuff I go back to often enough to memorize every detail, okay? I don't know.
You remember as like the aesthetics of Marley, but not his name. Okay. Normally you are the go-to name person. I'll say that much. Yeah. Which by the way, I will say this as a warning now. Remember how we invited you, Vin and I invited you to like help us with like a script we're working on for Chumation. Yeah. We've got a lot of details of characters and stuff. We haven't named any of them yet.
Okay, we're naming one of them Jacob.
I don't know. Feels too self-indulgent.
Jacob.
I don't know.
To be. Now I'm doomed to float among the living, to see the life I could live but didn't. Seeing all the love and the kindness and forgiving, regretting every wasted hour and minute.
This is actually a chance maybe to have like some of the civilians come back on for a bit as Marley walks amongst them. That'd be a good thing for this version to do, I think. Maybe. Not sure if that would work with the spirits kind of blocking, like the middle path, I guess.
Scrooge learned a message from my mistakes. Hear my message and confession, your soul's at stake.
Wait a minute. How come the three other ghosts that have chains around their neck?
How come they do or how come they don't?
How come they do?
I don't think they actually do.
They do.
Listen to Jake, 'cause tonight
no, they do. Okay, so so they have more physical. Okay, yeah, no, that's not a.
That's kind of weird. They're not meant to be chained. I mean, granted, I guess we don't really get too many details on the ghosts of the past, present, and future. We don't really get too many details on them individually, besides whatever gimmick they, have in the adaptation.
None of which seem to be chain related, so that's not.
Yeah, like chains are associated with Marley, not and potentially Scrooge if he doesn't change his ways.
You'll see. I think I know why they've got them. I think I know.
Are they gonna put chains on her? I'm guessing. Be like, chain, go away.
Or on Scrooge.
Before day breaks, you'll be haunted by three spirits.
Three spirits.
Three spirits.
Three spirits.
So Scrooge, you gotta listen, 'cause they're coming for you. Talking about three spirits.
Three spirits.
Three spirits.
Three spirits.
Spirits are
So we don't have the whoa in your hair this time.
on a mission and they're gonna for you.
Yep, knew it. Tied to Scrooge.
Dancing in the moonlight, but it's time for him to go.
Oh my goodness, the logistics of trying to have to weave through people in the opposite direction. I feel bad for Present.
And he flies away into the night, jumping right through the window.
I suppose someone's like, whoa, I'm going this way, okay, Somewhat taken off it. If they'd done like basically just a maypole, they could have gotten away with this maybe of all going the same way, because they chose to walk in. Why are they just walking opposite directions? That looks so much worse.
Joining 100 other ghosts.
See, now they're rotating in the same way. Do that before.
They fly all about. Scrooge lets go of his bedpost and passes out.
reference there.
Scrooge is sleeping soundly, passed out in his bed.
Oh, this is new. Well, I mean, not this melody, but it's a new iteration of it.
His mouth open wide and loudly snoring. Dreaming of old Marley, his old partner who's dead, unaware of the night that lay before him.
Unaware? He definitely
He's
in denial. He's in denial. I'll say that much, but I don't know if I would call him unaware.
The clock is struck. Scrooge is woken up. How quiet?
Okay. This I also think was oh wait, no.
Normal it seems. It all must have been a dream.
But no, he's out of luck. His curtains open up and stare.
Whoa! It's Christmas past! We haven't seen her since a few seconds ago!
Staring at Ebenezer is a paranormal creature. Scrooge is so afraid, no clue what to do. He wants to run away, but can't make a move.
Afraid of her? Dang.
Well, I mean, I would be afraid as well if a person like literally just like manifested appeared in my house while I was
scary.
sleeping.
I've seen scarier ghosts.
That's not the point. If someone broke into your house and appeared before your bed while you were sleeping in said bed, you would be afraid as well.
Wait, speaking of ghosts, Jacob.
Ghosty is not in the back rooms right now.
No,
I can tell.
not Ghosty. Ghosty's probably busy a day anyways. I was going to ask you. No.
It's about phasmophobia. God.
Oh, that was not
I was
even on my
gonna
radar.
ask you if you're planning on getting that, and if you would play that with me, Ubu.
I mean, you've already asked me that, and I gave you the same answers before.
Who are you?
I want the answer again, and if it's a no, I want to change.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, hey, look. Oh, hey, look, it's the ghost of Christmas. What timing by Turnip Crazy? Yeah, they've definitely changed like a few of the lyrics in here. Again, now we're getting to changes for the better, I think, versus changes for the worse in the opening number.
I have not.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Impossible. I went to school here. I'd know it anywhere. I'd know each desk and chair. I was popular, so cool here.
Again, the way that he squints as well, just shows like the age of this character. Supposedly, he sells it really well.
Who's that over there? I see a boy sitting all alone.
Dad made me stay at school.
His classmates have all gone.
And wow, they actually look similar this time as well.
He was pretty cruel.
Christmas all alone.
Nothing to do. Nowhere else to go.
I'm the ghost of Christmas past. What was all?
it's interesting in the version that she's not you don't have to just limit the actions to the characters, walking and dancing. This is the one where it feels more awkward for Jamie Lynn Beatty to be, just basically, just dancing and posing in the background while Scrooge having like a reminiscing most like, wow, is that myself? Meanwhile, she's like,
I'm the ghost.
There's the humor in this version.
Again is new.
She's having so much fun as well.
Time to go forward in the past. Here's
I will say though, I
this
will say
audience has a much smaller the threshold for cheering, because the previous audience only cheered like that when she started to like the sideways kicks, which feels more impressive than just going like, well, I'm gonna shuffle over.
Yeah, but with this at least, I don't know, because like part of me kind of feels sad because like there's little horror in this so far. Like I feel like one of the most interesting things about Christmas Carol is the horror elements of it. I mean, it's not completely horror, but there are elements of it, and I kind of feel like this version so far has pretty much gotten rid of any horror that could have been in this situation. I mean, you're being visited by 3 ghosts, but none of the ghosts are even attempting to be mildly unnerving. Unfortunately,
Well, I mean,
like normally,
actually, I don't know about. It depends. For what I've seen in most adaptations, there's like, well, at least the first two start off friendly, and then as the lessons slowly start to seep in, and Scrooge realizes what they've been trying to like lead him to in the first place, and as they quote like his lines back to him as well. That's when they start to be like a little bit meaner or potentially scarier, depending on like the last scene of Present, for example.
Fair, but
yeah.
that's normally balanced out by the first ghost and the last ghost being a lot more unnerving and terrifying, with very little, humor or anything associated funny with them.
The first one I've seen be terrifying and also friendly, depending on the version.
My experience has mostly been kind of terrifying. You're mostly going for more of the scare factor, like the unnerving factor, instead of the.
That's the one that freaked you out when you went to see it.
Yeah. In my experience,
so.
Well,
even when I saw a movie, like there was like the crap. What was it? Like the movie that was made of not stop motion. The movie that was like captured of real people.
Motion capture?
The motion capture version. Like I've seen a bit of that one. I haven't seen all of it, but I remember seeing a bit of it, and like some of the ghosts in that kind of freaked me out. I'm like,
Well, I mean, no offense to Robert Zemeckis, but that particular motion capture looked terrifying in general. So
yeah,
it kind of complements itself.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of wish more of the horror elements were in this, which is weird because Starkid is pretty good when it comes to horror elements and stories with comedy. But like, it kind of feels like with this, all the horror elements are pretty much gone at this point.
I think the VHS aesthetic kind of prevented that from really ever becoming a thing. And also, I imagine by this point they were probably also tired of doing constantly horror stuff because they had been working on Hatchetfield at the time when they did VHS Christmas Carol, not too long, like 2 years. But then by the time the live one came out, 4 years, and by the time this one was there, 5 years. So, and I think they were still probably doing Nutty Prudes Must Die as well around this time, or had just finished that. So,
I don't know.
To be honest, they probably could use a break from that material.
I still feel like they could have added at least a handful of horror elements, or like a bit more horror, especially because I hate when the narrator is like mentions how scared Ebenezer is, and like implying that there is meant to be at least a level of fear from Ebenezer. But it's like, from an audience perspective, I am having a very hard time looking at this and being like, wow, real scary.
Again, I don't think you're supposed to. It's not this scene.
I don't know.
The Marley one, maybe, but not this one.
I'm just
look at her. She's too smiley.
Yeah,
and not in a creepy way.
Another scene for you. Daddy said yes, big brother, you can come home.
Oh my God, I could kiss ya. You're the best.
Speaking of Nutty Prudes Must Die, I guess this is one of the residual outfits potentially.
Little sister.
For Christmas with each other, you won't be alone.
I forgot how much I missed her.
She died far too young.
She was the best.
By the way, it says here, today we know that Jamie can be scary thanks to nighttime. Yes, we do, and that's why I think this is deliberately avoiding that, because they're able to portray that.
And didn't she have a son?
That's correct.
And he lives in London.
Yes.
London.
His name is Fred.
Let's jump ahead of the ghost. And the past is in front of you. Even though you're done with
She wasn't even jumping at the time, just like twisting it around, but there was no like bounce motion.
the past isn't done with you.
Oh my God.
Give her a hula hoop or something, jeez.
God, I guess. Oh, it would be so cool during her dance if she like got a jump rope or something, you know.
Well, I think part of the fun of it was that she was miming. I think that would have kind of taken something out of it. Also, risk of tripping.
Fezziwigs, I used to work here. I'm the boss, Mr. Fezziwig. Tonight no one works.
Yeah, so this got spoiled to me by the chat just now, but yeah, Joe Richter being Fezziwig is a very interesting change as well. And yeah, already I like the difference between the voice and also the demeanor.
'Cause I got a round of shots and it's business tradition to get twisted on Christmas. Drink up, it's delicious.
Everyone's so happy, but why?
The boss did a lot for us.
This wasn't very much to buy.
Not just what he bought for us, he gave us much more than that. He made us have a blast, you don't understand it.
Something on your mind.
Why is she in like a Spider-Man pose?
Oh, but she was doing stretches on the floor. Like that was one thing. Was like I was distracted by like I was watching them dancing, and then in the corner I just see like Jamie just doing like squats on the floor.
She's about to like go web slinging.
Yes.
She's very uninterested in this. Okay, maybe one thing, because one thing that is that I really like about Christmas Present is like Christmas Present is always kind of give like party vibes. What if like we had a bit more dancing and maybe like you saw like Christmas Present like dancing alongside the people in the past dancing? Maybe that could have been a cool like thing.
That kind of ruins the idea of him always being appearing in the present.
Not
Other
present,
than
past. I said present.
Oh.
I meant past.
Oh, okay.
Past. I'm great.
Yeah,
at my
well, yes, I
words.
was going to say Christmas
Too many
Present. He's going to have a lot of
keywords.
dancing scenes later. You know, we
Too many
know
keywords.
this. I suppose.
Past, present. What's the difference?
Okay. Sure. All right then. Before we move on from this, the Something in Mind Bob Cratchit thing. Considering that Joe Rick does both Fezziwig and Cratchit, that means that in terms of like the hierarchy, the power dynamic, or like the ranking order, I suppose he is both at the top and the bottom, depending on obviously time wise. Because I assume that Fezziwig is probably long dead by this point, I imagine.
Scrooge watches guests arrive as they dance and they laugh. He feels less uptight.
How could I forget? This was the night we met.
Care to dance?
I don't dance that well.
Neither
Just pair them up again.
do I. I'm Scrooge.
I'm there.
And I'm the ghost,
There's the kick. Knew it was gonna happen.
Only one more stop for you. You may know if you think back. You may know where we're going to.
Okay, did she get possessed by Jennifer Coolidge? What's happening to this voice?
I can't do a Jennifer Coolidge impression. No, I want to do one right now. It's like, I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
We're gonna go into the past and we're gonna relive your sad moments. Oh, okay, my camera I decided to turn off. I was like, no more of that, please. For the love of everything. All right, fine.
You look like the
We'll
4th of
move on.
July. I want a hot dog. I can't do a Jennifer Coolidge voice. Oh God, I want to so bad get a good Jennifer Coolidge impression done.
I reckon that B would probably be good at it. I just have a
God,
feeling. I don't know
I'll
why.
ask her eventually.
Okay.
The next time I'm around, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you want to see? Can you do a Jennifer Coolidge impression? Is it good? Because I can't do one." So it's a fun voice.
Next time you play Phasmophobia. Oh my God! All these ghosts! I'm cling to you, so I'm not scared no more. I don't know.
Oh, he's playing on a tear. I'm
He
the
had
ghost.
fleas, I
I'm the
guess.
ghost. I'm got your hair.
And I'm going to snatch your wig.
Snatch that weave. Oh. Okay, girl.
Yeah, I
Girl.
guess. Thank goodness the camera's moving, because for the stage, they're definitely gonna just still be watching.
No
the whole
thoughts,
time.
head empty with her right now. It's like, oh.
Why do I get the feeling that Meredith is actually trying not to laugh herself right now? Like that grin could mean be like of approval in character or out of character. I'm about to crack in a few seconds.
Scrooge and the spirit find
Yeah, please take the camera off her. Like there's been a shot before.
themselves standing in a meadow.
Ah, yes, the peak of 80s health, smoking.
Staring at Belle and his younger self.
Hey, that's enough, Spirit, let's go.
Wait,
Staring at Donna's younger self, where are they? They disappeared
they're not
off
on
the
screen.
screen.
We have them. We have the actors for them. Where are their actors? Why?
We had to get the cigarette joke in. It was the only way.
Hey, this was a blast, but I don't need any more.
Hey, this is your past. It's all happened before. What are you so worried for?
What are you showing me for?
What are you so afraid of feeling?
I just think we should be leaving.
She's speaking.
Okay, are we gonna see her finally? Oh, there we are. So
Yeah,
I feel
yeah. No, they come back now.
I hate how we were talking about. Oh yeah, look, we're in a field with them, with younger self and Belle. It's like, okay, where are they at? Where?
Yeah. Also,
right on
I
screen,
think this is a
or near
slightly
screen.
pitched up version of this song. Like, just hearing those opening notes, I think we're in a different key now. Let's see if I'm right.
It's hard to explain, but just hear me out. Something has changed what you're all about. You've gone kind of insane about your bank account.
The vocals feel the same. Okay.
The money you make matters more to you now. And I've
Kurt
been
Mecha was on a
replaced by
mission.
dollar amount. Now I'm the ball and chain you drag around.
We do know that Agent Kurt Mecha, the only reason he ever charmed women is because of the mission.
But that's not the Scrooge that I first met, who was giving and kind and not terrible yet.
By the way, thank goodness that Jamie and Biddy settled down now, just having a cigarette, because otherwise, my goodness, this would be entirely ruined, wouldn't it? That Scrooge.
That's the Scrooge that I could never forget. That Scrooge I fell in love with. That Scrooge looked at stars above with. That Scrooge felt the best things in life were free. That Scrooge is who I dream about. But that Scrooge is nowhere to be found. 'Cause this Scrooge isn't the Scrooge who loved me.
That's interesting. That I think there's the last year version. That one said "loves me" at this point, but "loved me" works better here. Again, they've improved at changing the lyrics from the opening number.
Was a boy, I was so young back then.
So you admit you've changed?
That's not what I meant.
Well, I'd love to know then
Also,
where
what
that
they-
boy.
Okay, so I assume this is like years later, right?
Yes, they kind of clarify that. I was so young, whatever. Yeah, because it wasn't like I was so
I
young
ca-
3
so
days
I-
ago.
I kind of wish her outfit changed more, or maybe they switched out her jacket or something. Because like I'm pretty sure her outfit's the exact same she was in the previous scene or the previous segment
We
with
could
her.
rewind, but we could rewind. But having that be, they might have having them leave for a costume change would make more sense than them just disappearing from the stage for no reason.
I don't know, because like I feel like her outfit should have changed more, like because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same outfit.
Yeah, I'm just going back just to make sure because I couldn't say for certain. Yeah, no, it's the same.
Which is kind of annoying because like outfit changes in theater productions are a good way to show passage of time as well,
And by the way, there are in fact like montage videos of quick costume changes that people have done.
I mean,
Mostly
even if
Jerry Richter, but yeah.
even if you just had like her change her jacket or something, or maybe had like a scarf, a chain. Like I don't know if she's wearing a scarf right now. Maybe she's wearing a scarf.
Not really sure.
I can't really tell.
Yeah.
But maybe have her like put on like a scarf or like a necklace. I don't know, something like have like small changes. Maybe like give her a slightly different jewelry on her hand. Maybe put.
Oh,
like,
she's supposed to have a ring now, which she might be covering with her hand in this shot. We'll see.
Where that boy went.
Oh, dang, she put her hands down.
That's not.
I think I see like a little bit of like a glint on her
You
fingers.
need to give her like one of those obnoxiously big diamonds.
That does seem like the kind of thing that young Scrooge would have gone for.
Nothing wrong with being rich.
But rich doesn't mean a personality switch. Your body
Also,
and
I'm pretty
brain
sure
are
young Scrooge also put on a jacket. Like, it's a slight change, but I'm pretty sure he had a very slight change, but it works. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which, you know, just gives slight change to convey time change. That's, I think, what works best. With
heart has to.
Have I ever implied I wanna break up?
It's in your eyes, it's in your touch, it's in your laugh, though you don't laugh as much. That's Scrooge, wore his heart on his sleeve. That's Scrooge, would rather give than receive. That's Scrooge.
That Scrooge sounds like make-believe.
Oh, don't you see? That's Scrooge, he took my breath away.
Yeah, brings
But
that
that
now.
Scrooge isn't here today, 'cause this Scrooge isn't the Scrooge who loved.
Oh, the cigarette's actually like lit now. Okay.
If you can't beat it, would you think that I'd still catch your eye?
That rhetorical.
Would you still walk my way or pass me by?
This is hypothetical. If I met you today, how hard I would try to get you to stay and not say goodbye.
By the way, since we mentioned the Muppets Christmas Carol before, one of the things in that one, I'm also mentioned deleted scenes thanks to Aiden previously. A deleted, put back in, and then deleted again song was the when Love Is Gone, which is one that the Bell sings in the I think it's actually the VHS version. It's the only one that has it. And yeah, like while that happens, like old Scrooge comes in and joins her, you know, singing like her words and remembering what they meant, and now realizing, you know, what exactly he'd lost, and that being part of the duet. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. You know, in this case, it's not repeating like her lines or sing along with her. It's you're responding to that in a way that young Scrooge never could. But yeah, it still carries the same idea behind it. And I'm sure they've seen the Muppets version. They must have done. Okay,
that was me.
Okay.
Don't mind me.
Oh,
We can't hear it.
I know that
that was agreed too.
spirit, are we almost at meant?
We're coming near it.
Yeah, this is where I said before that, you know, the idea of like the spirit starting friendly, but then as to realize the lesson that she's trying to impart, that's when the facade drops.
You torture me. Is that fun for you?
My priority isn't to comfort you. There's more to see from this younger you.
You mean this dumber me? 'Cause this Scrooge is an idiot. He still has a chance, but he's missing it.
Again, the staging of this definitely far better than the other one, where like, yes, you still get the idea from the shot of Dylan, they're saying this Scrooge is an idiot, but yeah, like having been be up in his own face, fantastic.
This Scrooge.
Here's Scrooge, I'm giving back the ring.
Another good change of the lyrics next. I think it was this Scrooge giving back the ring. They hadn't worked out the here Scrooge part.
Doesn't know anything. This Scrooge. You don't know what this cost. This Scrooge. You don't know what you've lost.
And that's another clear change there, because that's when Dylan was at his loudest before, like yelling, "You don't know what you've lost," possibly because he was far away. But yeah, no, he can't even bring himself to do that now. Not saying one better than the other, and again, in this case, you draw your own conclusions.
This Scrooge is the Scrooge who loses me.
I'm not gonna cry.
Even that small crack from Belle actually kind of like emphasizes this.
Scrooge is the Scrooge that turns into cry.
You know, I never actually caught on to that from last time. Like the I'm not gonna cry, and no one wonders why, versus the me and me. I was focusing on too much on like the old Scrooge and Belle versus young Scrooge and Christmas Past. Should have paid attention to that. So yeah, like having two layered like accompaniments at the same time. I don't think I've ever seen it in any other musical, actually. Well, I could be wrong.
Scrooge is the Scrooge that says
Until the spirit dies, tobacco poisoning. The end.
Scrooge tries to hide a tear, but the spirit has disappeared, and now he's back in his bed, filling up with dread, remembering what Marley said and wondering who's coming next. But there's no one
You
around.
already saw them. He doesn't have to wonder. He saw them.
Well, maybe he doesn't know which one is going to come next.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, he also saw them, and I don't like him seeing the ghosts before he actually properly encounters them. I hate that. It's such a stupid thing. It just,
yeah, like of all the terms we pointed out so far, that one's definitely the most egregious one.
There's not a sound, but a light is faintly glowing.
There's little horror in this. Like, I have not seen any horror-related stuff, and I don't think we're gonna get.
Again, we've already talked about this of the fact that in some adaptations you're not supposed to get the horror from the Christmas past specifically. From Marley, yes, and maybe a little bit with like the introductions, or like the suspense behind them. That's also a possibility. Like here, for example, there should be something
from behind the door and growing.
Again, there's too much fanfare for this as well, because everyone knows the story. Even they know like this cast of people as well. So, or, you know, the changes and whatnot. But so it wasn't really like possible to create like a scary version for at least these incarnations. I don't think.
Well, you could try a little bit more. You could try. You could still try. I mean, at least with Marley, you could try a bit harder.
Yes. Okay. Again, with Marley, yes, but honestly,
and Christmas,
this guy,
Christmas Future, also you could have actually tried with more.
Barbie Christmas Carol, a bit of horror, remember? There's a Barbie Christmas Carol.
What? Actually, yeah, they had a bunch of animated Barbie movies at one point, like especially.
Oh no, I know there are a bunch of animated ones. I just didn't know Christmas Carol was one of them. That's my surprise. Not the fact they're Barbie movies. I know about those. Yeah, I've only seen one of them, but I know of them. Actually, wait, maybe two. Yeah, I've seen two.
He's heading toward, scared and unprepared for his next ghostly meet and greet as he opens the door and hears the beat.
Oh, snap. Here we go.
Come a little closer. Don't worry, I won't eat you. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. It's super nice to meet you. Something's in the air.
Here we go.
Maybe you've been feeling it. It's sprinkled everywhere.
I was trying to speak to him as well.
I know 'cause I've been feeling it.
Yeah, again, the more that I hear this song and the more I hear, like, it's sprinkled everywhere, I know because I've been dealing it. Yeah, like, but once Billy pointed that out last year, I could never hear the song ever again the same way. But also, I'm going to point out this time that, yeah, like Scrooge is trying to draw his attention, but, like, the Christmas present like, has only just now turned towards him. Like, I see, like, okay, I'm going to do my own thing right now. You just happen to be in my scene. But I'm the main character. Nah, you're in my scene now.
Wanna know what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about? Follow me around the town, I'll show you how I get down. Wanna know what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about? And what I spread around. Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity.
Also, I just noticed the shoes, by the way, the glowing shoes.
It's here. Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity.
Which now in this blue light don't glow as much as they did in the previous shots, but they're still there.
And my friend, it's up to me this year to spread it around.
Christmas electricity?
That's what I said.
What is this electricity?
It's like butter.
It's what goes in your house. It's what goes in your house. It's how you have lights. I assume you have lights in your house.
Actually, Scrooge famously does not have electric lights in his house. He uses candles in most like that. He's that stingy.
For the bread, it brings people together, working kind of like a magnet, spreading love and generosity with a little bit of magic. I spread it to the wealthy, and especially to the poor.
Why the poor especially?
Why the poor? Why are you giving money to poor? Oh my God.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is Scrooge.
You know that Christmas feeling, you feel all good inside. You know that Christmas season, it makes you feel alive. Or maybe you've never felt it, maybe you're a greedy dick. Well then.
Okay, yeah, this is where that like, you know, Dylan was going like no to this response, you know, and then said no, you know, maybe you're greedy. Yeah, and then he kind of like shrinks down. Actually, this version, this adaptation right now, because Starkid also made the 2020 like the actual VHS version of Christmas Electricity, they made that public. So actually, I've seen the Dylan Saunders version of that. That it feels more in line with this portrayal actually, because again, like the idea of like having to react in a more calm and mellow manner to make that work. I think that was yeah. So this like almost like an intermediate point almost. As you know, that was intermediates.
What it is, oh, Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. It's all around us, can't you see it's here? Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. And
I will say this is a perfect incarnation of trying to dance with my relatives. So yeah, this is accurate, especially the older ones.
Friend, it's up to me this year. Spread it around.
Christmas electricity.
To the left, to the right, and up and down this town.
Christmas electricity.
That's what I said.
Christmas electricity.
Let's check on your nephew, Fred.
Christmas wait, what? You know Fred?
Of course I do. He's an awesome dude. There's a party at his place. Unless you've something better to do, let's get a smile on that face.
Yeah, again, like if you see like a different version of Fred before this point, I would have bought the idea more that he knows Fred, but not really this time.
So they go to Fred's thing, people eating, drinking, people laughing, dancing, and happy. Yes, I invited him, at least I tried with him. What can I do? He's still family. Fred, my man, I don't understand why you still give that guy a chance when he treats you like the scum of the earth. Well, Mama liked him and she was cool, so maybe he wasn't always cool. Maybe he wasn't evil from birth. Hey, he doesn't want to hang. Well, he's the one missing out. Cause we got a real cool gang, and you know we're dishing out.
Yep. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I'm going to point out this line. So, last year, again, when the double meaning or the potential meaning of this song was pointed out to me, someone in the chat, I can't remember who it was, but someone chimed in with the fun fact that apparently, because people kept on mishearing the "We've got a real cool gang" line when they sang it. I guess the original Corey version, at least, that Corey actually changed it during one of the live performances to "We've got real cocaine." You actually play into the joke at least one time. At that point, it was past the point of no return. It's like, okay, all right, fine. I no longer wish to experience this Christmas.
But you love cocaine.
Electricity. I think I will do without.
You know, they say you want your people talk about wanting a white Christmas. What do you think they meant by that? They didn't mean snow on Christmas. No, they meant cocaine on Christmas.
That's horrifying implications. I guess I now know why that song is so low pitched. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Yeah.
Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity is here. Come on, everyone. Christmas electricity.
Oh, there was a subtle moment there of like the Christmas present, make a sprinkling motion, and we have like an actual like sprinkle sound effect in the background.
Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity.
We're just busting it down.
Well, yeah, no, that is what happened as well in the other version. Yeah, in every version he actually starts to he starts to really indulge in it. In the other version, he actually starts like gurning or something as well, which is another sign of having partaken in certain narcotics. Well, it's like a chewing motion you do like involuntarily, like that. Yeah, basically.
I think I'm having fun.
Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity.
All right. Oh yes. Who am I? Take a guess. Bah humbug. Hey, that's me. Bah humbug.
That's Scrooge.
Okay, but I'll say this, because this Scrooge has more of like a physicality and like expression to him, and because Brian went into like more of like the of like imitating that versus just saying bar humbug. The idea that he's doing a Scrooge impression actually sells a lot more in this one than it did in the other one.
Feel that electricity ringing, yeah.
You know what? This Fred is growing on me now. It took a second, but you know what? I'm getting behind
Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity.
Oh, just in time because the scene's over. All right, bye, Fred.
Hey, look, he's got yourself Santa. Oh, he's got himself left.
Well, yeah, and well-dressed Bob Cratchit / Fezziwig undercover, you know.
Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. Whatever that stuff just did to me, I want more.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. And the fact this music has slowed down, implying you're coming down from a high, is a complete coincidence. I'm sure of it.
Now I see you've taken me to some random family
There's the glowing shoes. Now you can see them properly. Glowing shoes.
who I've never seen, but they look pretty poor. Look, Fred's party was fun, but this seems kinda not. How about we go back to that one?
Hey, this house has got a lot of Christmas electricity. Christmas electricity.
You got a lot of drugs there? Oh.
Well, they're poor for a reason, but I think all their funds go.
No, you don't seem to see it. It's the same. It brought together this family just like it brought you and me. So chill out, and you'll soon see why we came.
Well, he's coming down from a high, so I think chilling out's gonna be very hard.
Yeah, but also at some point will become the only thing he can do. Scrooge getting down with the boogie. Yeah, that's definitely an 80s sentence right there. I had a drink. Hold on a second.
Something smells great.
Can you set things out for supper? Should Dad get a plate? He'll be home soon with your brother. Mom, it looks delicious! I can't wait to have it!
Kids, Merry Christmas!
Dad!
Bob Cratchit.
Sorry we're late. Our tiny Tim is getting heavier. At church I prayed that one day I'll be getting healthier.
Oh, there you go. Talk about quick costume changes. So yeah, he does still play Ty Tim in this version.
Pray to darling!
That's the pudding I can't reach. Ooh. Is anyone else starving?
Ooh, don't put my hands like that, please.
He's trying to give like a
bones.
He's trying to give like a
My
Morty
bones are getting
impression.
squishy.
Oh no, squishy bones.
Hey, we're about to have a feast, which will soon be starting. But first, let me make a speech.
Happy Thanksgiving. Wait, wrong thing. Merry Christmas.
Anyways, I gotta go for now.
Oh, okay. Happy Thanksgiving to you, I guess, then.
I was here. Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, I guess we're alone again.
I don't know about fancy things,
I don't know about luxury.
Was that just for the camera? Like, who was he winking to in that scene? It was too high up for the angle for his children. Was it one of the audience members? Maybe. I guess so. That's the thing that I would do. You know, I have like over the years, I find it like nearly impossible not to interact with the audience or try to make eye contact with at least one of them at some point at this stage.
But tonight I feel like a king.
Does anyone there's a story ever say what's wrong with Tim? I'm guessing leukemia. I'm guessing not leukemia on the grounds that that the implication was that if Bob had his salary raised, that he could afford the medicine to treat it in the 1800s. Like we don't have medication you could administer for leukemia today. So I definitely don't think it's leukemia, to be honest.
Surrounded by the royal family, and I'm grateful for home.
I'm grateful for this great cooking.
I'm grateful for Mom. I'm grateful you're all so kind. I'm grateful for dessert.
Here, Dad, try some of the pudding.
It's so good, it's blowing my mind.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I get to say one of my former catchphrases of theater.
You walk through the table!
Okay. To give context, the reason that was such a reflex for me was because I was a member of this drama club for 6 years, and I was by far the oldest there, especially during the earlier years. And during said earlier years, whenever we had like improv scenes to do, and there was some mention of like, oh, we were sat by a dinner table or something, or we brought a table along or something like that. At some point, one of the kids would inevitably forget the table is supposed to be there and just barge straight through it. So me being the being the annoying person that I am, but also the steadfast, never break character if I can avoid it type of actor, I just immediately exclaimed, "You walk through the table!" whenever that happened. So yeah, whenever I see that now, it's just a reflex. But also, they played into it at some point. It eventually like got so bad, like during 1 year, that they would sometimes like just bring on a table intentionally into the scene, like imaginary table. They might putting it down and then just walk straight through it. Like they wanted that reaction. My drama teacher would also say this. Fair enough. Master improv. Yeah. Yeah, it was so it became my catchphrase for a solid year, and then a little bit towards like the end of the next one. But yeah, it only really stopped once we split the groups into different age ranges, and by that point, like we like a bunch of new people who didn't know about this about the meme in the first place, and then everyone kind of got like mixed up together. So yeah, eventually it died out. That would happen to me sometimes. Like the first parody I ever wrote was a parody of Gangnam Style when Gangnam Style was first trending. That was called Harry Potter Style, and people would stop me whenever I would walk in the hallways. Like there's like 2 people would stop me like nearly every single day to ask me to perform that song for them. Like it became that obsessive. Unfortunately, this is before I had a YouTube channel, so I wasn't able to capitalize off of this. But you know, it gave me the impetus to keep writing songs. So yeah, again, double down the next year. Kind of seems to be a thing, honestly, with me. Like, oh yeah, you guys like this thing? Okay, we'll do more of them. You like this mutant girl thing I'm doing is getting more views than I thought it would. Okay, well it's gonna go from a possible mini series where I'm testing out my editing prowess, and we're gonna extend the story, make it longer, and make it last, make it break the record of gacha. Oh wait, you guys like there's a whole new influx of viewers on this on the Butter Bunch channel because we started doing Starkid reactions. and the first one immediately soared up to some of our top listings. Oh well, I guess we'll do the entire Hatchetfield saga and then extend it past even further, make it a thing every Thursday. Oh well. So yeah, I give the people what they want some of the time, maybe not in the way that they expected it.
Being with you, being together is a treasure impossible to measure. It's priceless. Even a king, even a queen could never buy this feeling that's inside us. It's priceless, priceless, priceless.
Was this the year they got married? I think it might have been.
I'm grateful to have a family.
Nice detail of his hands shaking as he tries to hold the microphone.
To do things for me when I cannot. Grateful for all of humanity.
Grateful I don't have what Tim has got.
Finally, a toast to my boss, Mr. Scrooge.
Finally, none of the other children get to say get like a. Well, I guess they did their bit before, I suppose. With just those two left.
Don't make me throw up. Scrooge is Satan in disguise.
Honey, he paid for this meal.
Pays you pennies for all you do. I'll toast my hope that he dies.
Being with you, being together,
everyone.
is a treasure impossible to measure. It's priceless.
Okay. Table meme aside, these harmonies again spectacular, and again a huge improvement over the. Like I say, the different levels or anything that they had in the old version.
Even a king, even a queen could never buy this.
By the way, I just realized that Tiny Tim is a Care Bear that is the exact same shade of green as a Tickle Me Wiggly, and now I can't unsee it. Fantastic.
Feeling that's inside us is priceless, priceless.
Did you say priceless? Everything has a price, Mr. Prezziwez. Anyway.
So many mouths to feed. I never knew
You never asked.
that Tiny Tim kid needs help.
Indeed, makes you wonder how long he'll last.
But the way that they cut to a shot of Brian in that position is going that Tiny Tim needs help. Yeah, he definitely needs help. If this were around for longer, some of these things would definitely make it into like Starkid out of context compilations, I think.
We may not have a lot, but there's lots of love among us. Tim may be tiny, but his heart is humongous. We may be poor as dirt, but this soil is rich.
I feel like one of them said drit by accident instead of dirt, but okay.
Just listen to this, he changed out of the bridge. Being with you, being together is a treasure impossible to measure. It's priceless, even a king.
This is where I would be doing this to the audience because obviously I know they know this song, so yeah, get them involved. Again, one of the things one of my theater reflexes, involving the audience, whether they want to be involved or not, and pointing out when people walk through tables, both of those things. But there is a mic apparently. Oh, I guess you could have like a lav attached to its back, or potentially something camouflaged inside. That kind of makes sense. All right.
Even a queen could never buy.
Oh, sorry, you mean as a prop mic? Okay, sorry, I misread that entirely. My bad. That is fantastic. Again, Tiny Tim needs help, but We appreciate the hilarity of this of his posing right now.
This feeling that's inside us is priceless.
And the spirit high over London town. Seeing people all around, all singing out.
Oh my goodness. Oh, at that point, in the other one, he says, "I don't feel so good." I guess he's gotten enough laughs already. Maybe they cut that out for that reason. But also, again, the facade drops at this point. What my favorite line, I think, in the Christmas Carol story is, "Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?" Because that's what Scrooge says to the people donating to the poor beforehand, and the last thing that Christmas Present says to him is that line repeated when he talks about like how like the poor need help, and why isn't someone doing anything about that? And then he says, "Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?" And that's it, gone entirely. And there is an equivalent to that idea in this version, but it doesn't reign as strong for me personally. Or at least it didn't in the old version. Let's see what they do with this time.
Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live? He looks so frail today.
What do you care? You've got nothing to give. At least that's what you say. Weren't you just asked to give to the poor?
He was.
You felt harassed and kicked them out the door. People need help and you shrug.
No, Spirit, that's not what.
Humbug!
Yeah, that's the thing. Because in this version, all he said to them was "bah humbug." He kicked them out with a big old bah humbug, like that one. That's up there. Terrible key there, but whatever. Yeah, that's what they had for that version. So because of that, they couldn't use that line. But they still, but in the old version, they had a recording, I think, of Scrooge saying that. But yeah, having it, but now at least they kept the idea of Christmas Present repeating something back to Scrooge at least. So I do appreciate the attempt here.
Before Scrooge can respond, the ghost has disappeared, and a shadowy figure from beyond is slowly coming.
Okay, here we go. Well, I mean, it's pink, but it's getting close to red. Okay, this is what Aiden would have appreciated. Oh well. The spirit saying "bah humbug" is so cool. Yeah, I guess there's two ways to look at it, kind of, because having the recording of Scrooge say it emphasizes that, okay, yeah, this is it's not even like the same way he says. There wasn't, because it was in the one was like "bah humbug," versus "bah humbug," because that obviously they're trying to make it fit with his catchphrase from before. So that makes the connection back to that beginning idea more obvious to like the audience watching this version, but Christmas Present, the spirit saying the line himself brings it back for the people who have seen other adaptations or read the source material or anything, because they know that's okay, fine, they're doing the quoting thing this time. All right, got it. So I guess depending on whether you're a new or old audience member, then or new to the Christmas Carol story, then you would probably have a different experience for one versus the other. Me personally, being familiar with it, I prefer this one. Anyway, let's see. Let's see this spirit. I think I like the fact it's red here, but I think red might be a bit too bright, or like the rest of the stage, like it's too bright to make it probably scary. Then again, I'm not an expert at portraying horror on stage, so I have no idea. Again, the thing that scared me Christmas Future before, or Christmas Yet to Come, I should say, was the fact that version that I saw live was able to walk down the audience with it through like the motif, and I think also had some aspects of like smoke from one side or the other of the stage. That's what sold it for me until the breakdance moment. This one doesn't really have that luxury. Although again, that could have been just my origin story of involving the audience. Who knows? I read the book. I think it's a smart connection. Yes, no, I understand. So that's why I'm saying that for us, I haven't read the book, but I've seen like so many adaptations, and I know, and I've people like analyze the story, so I know what to look out for in that instance. So yeah, that's why I'm saying like for us, this version is better and like cooler as a reference to that. But if someone hadn't done those things, say in the very rare instance that somebody's first Christmas Carol version was the Starkid version, they would get more out of the recording version of of the live one, because then it would be like, okay, well, we're going back to what he said, even though he didn't say it in that exact same way, which kind of ruins that, to be perfectly honest. Well, they both have that issue.
Must be the final ghost, the ghost of Christmas future. You're the one I fear the most, though I don't mean to be rude, sir. Don't know why I just called you sir. Guess I'm just feeling super nervous, but I shouldn't make assumptions. Oh, spirit, please say something.
Okay. I'm about to do something that is going to be that has probably never been done by a surviving person. Criticize a Jamie Burns performance. I think that the older version of this sells this idea because it is more echoey. I'm not sure whether like how they achieved that, whether it was like the microphone or something, whether it was like a filter that they had for the microphones themselves. I don't know if you could even apply a filter to stage microphones. I never attempted to look into that, although I assume there is a way, probably. But yeah, like the fact that it felt like more echoey, almost like the voice was reverberating from various different places, but you could still tell the origin source was the spirit. That to me sells it more than just having the melody from one source, which I guess again, yeah, they may not be able to do on such a grand scale. We did say before, I guess Fester did say before that the old version has better sound, and that is definitely a perfect example of what they were talking about, I think.
Hey, that didn't tell me much, but definitely was spooky.
Again, sometimes it's even just in like the lack of movement from their head or anything, or just like the change from the fear to now to now like the boredom from it. Sean will show you with its mind. I don't know. I feel fairly enlightened already. Don't worry about me, Sean.
That's fine, you don't have to speak, just show me the future you see. Hey, I know those guys ahead, rich and respected businessmen. Wonder what they're talking about. Guess you're taking me there to find out.
By the way, yeah, I had to pause in the song specifically because like this is my favorite song I think of the entire bunch. Don't know why exactly. It goes way harder for me than than the other ones do. Not to say that those ones don't also, but for this one particularly, I think because I like the way that like we transition from like the different from the music that still feels like the same, but you have like a little bit more of like a different instrumentation when the people like break into song, and then they also like comment each other. It feels conversational and musical in a way that in the old version was the only example of that. In this one, they've had a couple instances of that, particularly from Scrooge himself. But also, I just had to say that so the fact that he knows that there's some guys from work means that it's definitely not going to be a distant future in all instances as well, which is probably a thing where it means that no matter what happens, Scrooge's time is at an end because he's an old man anyway. So
The funeral's at 3. Don't know if I'm gonna go. Anyone wanna go?
I don't know.
Not me. He wasn't really my friend.
I don't think he had friends.
Oh,
Shame he left behind so much money.
Hey, I'll go if there's a lunch. What
tear shed, a kind word said. Too bad for the guy who's dead. But spirit, I don't see how this relates to me.
Okay, that dance move was pretty good as like the pointing towards, actually.
I see you've taken me to a seedy part of the city. Can't say I've been here before, it was always too poor and gritty. I see 3 people dressed in rags, taking some nice things out of bags.
Dressed in rags, eh? We're gonna judge that in a second, aren't we?
As if taking inventory. Spirit, what's the story?
I got a sheets.
Yes, dressed in rags. I mean, comparatively speaking, but I mean, come on. That's still not too bad.
Got his shirt. I got his silverware.
Nice. Maybe if he wasn't such a jerk, I might actually care.
Right.
No one by his side when he died. Someone could have stopped us, but no one tried.
Maybe he would have been wiser to be nicer and not such a greedy miser.
I've seen enough, they're stealing stuff from the guy who died. That's pretty rough, but spirit, I don't see.
Okay, I know the audio is glitching and it's been out of sync for some time. I'm just going to rewind a little bit to give it a chance to recalibrate.
From the guy who died, that's pretty rough, but spirit, I don't see how this relates to me. Can anyone express?
I think at this point in the original version, not the original version, but the live version from last year, the old version, I'm saying, at this point, like the spirit was like dancing a little bit, just to like, but not in a distracting way because it was after the other people had left at this point, so not like Christmas past. They kind of like like stole the scene in a bad way, and I think that. I think that does say a lot as to how static they've made this character, where it feels more like the traditional Christmas yet to come spirit, but possibly at the expense of what they were trying to set up with the aesthetic of this person originally. I don't know.
Any emotion from this death?
Honey, you'll never guess. You know how we're massively in debt.
Okay, here we go. I know this something also got spoiled to me, given that Jim and Della were a thing for this. I guess Della's hair is still the same Christmas Eve, because we know it's a step a little bit further in the future. So, I guess now we know why they only had $1.87 to their name, and the fact their hair hasn't grown back yet because you said it grows back fast. So we've established a lot from the timeline of these two.
Yes.
Well, the old man just dropped dead.
No way.
Yes way.
I feel like I can breathe again. I can't believe our luck. Is it bad that I'm so happy?
No, he truly sucks.
Oh, I guess they run off in opposite directions. All right, sure, fair enough.
Hey, spirit, funny joke, but that's not what I meant. Is there anyone who can express for any death some tenderness?
You shouldn't have said any death. You set yourself up for this one, Scrooge.
I'm grateful for this Christmas Eve.
And also, I mean, obviously people know this is going anyway because of the music and the fact that everyone's so sad about this and saying any death. It's very obvious. But if nothing else, Bob Cratchit holding the bear at this point, that says it all.
Just the kind Tiny Tim would enjoy. I only wish he were here to see. Forgive me. How I just miss my boy.
Daddy, don't cry. Tim is with us right now.
He lives in our hearts and our memories.
Peter's trying to redeem himself from his earlier comments, but yeah. I say it was the bear that killed Tim. This was the prototype of Tickle Me Wiggly. Speaking of Tim's condition, by the way, I did ignore a comment from before because we were talking about like leukemia or something. But yeah, tuberculosis does sound much more like the implication, like the constant coughing. The fact that it was treatable, but ultimately, was a case of like having access to it in the first place. I mentioned this before, but fun fact: tuberculosis is the only bacterial infection that they use vaccines to prevent. Because vaccines are for viruses specifically most of the time, but tuberculosis, I guess, they were able to find a way to incorporate that bacteria because it ultimately just like produces mucus inside your lungs anyway. So that's where it that's how it gets you. There you go. But yeah, basically it makes sense. And also, I don't think it's massively contagious, from what I remember.
Get him no way, no how.
If only Scrooge had raised your salary.
There it is.
Spirit, don't show me anymore. Tell me who was that dead man from before. You're just trying to scare me. Cause you've led us to a cemetery. Now you're pointing to.
And again, I like the way there's almost like a loading screen. I think in the original version they had like a warp screen or something that just goes through, almost like a Doctor Who type of thing. Oh my goodness, Joey's eyes. Oh wow. Okay, hold on a second. This pause frame right now, Joey's eyes. Can we just emphasize on that, please? I mean, it's the 80s, so we can have a Terminator reference in here for sure, but my goodness. Whoa. Okay. This represents a lucky clover as a symbol. Oh wow, that's just mean. But yeah, still, Joey's eyes.
No, I don't want to see the name. No! I'm a different man now. Spirits, I have changed. I live Christmas all year round. Holy spirits will live in me. I'll remember lessons they teach. Scrooge reaches out to be saved, but is dragged down into the grave.
Okay, that is the closest thing to a scary moment in this video. And yeah, I love desperation in his voice. Yeah. Again, comparatively speaking, yeah, it's a different type of desperation, actually. Because I do like the way that the Dylan Saunders, was able to, spit out please with each time that he does it. And the fact that we're actually able to hear both versions clearly rather than being drowned out, unfortunately. Yeah. This again is one of my favorite moments in this version. It's usually my least favorite moment in every other Christmas Carol adaptation. And I said this last year, but just in case people don't remember what I said last year, it feels almost like it kind of undermines the idea behind Scrooge learning his lesson as time went by. He saw how different Christmases forgetting about them warped his perception from the past, and I should not have forgotten the person that he was or what made him, so that he was able to act accordingly. And as for Christmas not warranted, it was all to do with other stuff. Then his present version, the present version, about how he actually treats these people around him, and sees the people who either appreciate him but still need his help. So obviously, Fred and Bob Cratchit, the two people really admire him still to this day, appreciate him on some level. So the fact that they ones they focused on, another thing. But yeah, but the problem with the ending of the Christmas Yet to Come section is the fact that what snaps him out of it is seeing himself dead, as if to say, embrace the Christmas spirit or you will die. Which, BB could, I think, argue the symbolism behind that last time, as far as putting the fear of divine intervention onto people, and that's how you get them to worship things. Okay, yeah, sure. There is that aspect. but also but it kind of feels like, Scrooge was almost like a changed person anyway, even by the time we got to the future section in the first place. He's like just done to complete the trilogy almost. Or I guess we'll show what happens if, what kind of happens if the Tiny Tim, is not able, stays on the same course and doesn't raise Bob's salary. Okay, that's fair as well. But the fact that seeing like his own gravestone is what kind of sometimes it's like it goes back to like almost like a selfish perspective. It goes back to him, looking out for number one. And also not even mentioning like the circumstance behind his death. He could have died of, again, old age. He's an old man. And and given the fact that it was a recent future, because considering that he knows a lot of the people from work, and Bob Cratchit is still around, like the Cratchit family as well, doesn't look too different. I mean, sure, maybe you could argue that he dies, old and bitter and everything, and without enough time to change his fate. But that was Marley's entire point to begin with. The rest of the spirits showed him like how to change his fate. The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come just scared him, basically. Apart from Tiny Tim scene, it just scared him, and I can never get behind. And I can't like slip my mind out of the idea that like the gravestone being the point where he changes, and suddenly like is like, oh yeah, I'm happy to be alive and such. Like that, I can never get behind the fact there's something about that feels always off to me because of the journey that Scrooge went on before. So yeah, this song goes hard. It's my favorite one of VHS Christmas Carol for sure. As a song, I really appreciate it. It's just unfortunate that it's based on a part of the story that I personally don't enjoy. Anyway, time to finish this.
I'm in a bed. Am I dead? I wasn't sure if I'd wake up. Thought it was the end. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, spirits. Thank you, Jacob. Jake, I'd kiss you if I could. The night is over, knock on wood. I feel so effing good to be alive.
Yeah, again, see what I mean?
I feel like a baby boy.
Also, by the way, thank you, Jacob. Whoa, what was the thing again? Aiden was here still.
Never felt so drunk with joy. I've never felt such joy to still have time.
And Scrooge laughs the kind of laugh that can wash away years of sadness. A huge laugh, an impressive laugh for someone so out of practice.
Again, AJ Holmes does seem out of practice in this version.
I'm a match girl, I'm a natural, been selling since I was 7.
Hey, you,
Okay.
on the street.
Mister, what you want with me?
Please don't run away. Just tell me what's today.
What's today? Why, it's Christmas Day! Christmas Day!
For heaven's sake, it's Christmas Day. Christmas Day, I'm not too late. Hey, here's some cash, run.
Okay, so I think I remember that somebody like had like a submission basically for the VHS version. That's the one that they actually used in the other live one. I think the match girl on this one, I guess, confirms that she's alive, I suppose, or maybe it's before she goes off to Grandma Land, because it kind of seems like no one paid attention to her at all from the way that story went, and now it seems like okay. Scrooge is still, giving her, money because he gets told to buy a turkey for him, but or to send to the Cratchit family, but still, probably some extra for her. I would have thought. Usually, Scrooge made it to Grandma Land. Yeah, this is the secret headcanon ending of like he's actually dead. But instead of being greeted by his grandma, he was greeted by Jacob Marley, and Marley's just been messing with him this whole time. This has all been Grandma Land this whole time.
To the shop, buy the best looking turkey they got, the biggest and the fattest, and send it to Bob Cratchit.
I can't carry that, it's freaking huge.
Also, who's Bob Cratchit? You haven't told me. They might have done the timeline where he didn't change. Maybe actually. Again, depends on like how far in the future that was set, because obviously Jim and Della still, we don't know about them as of yet.
Point. Here's more cash to Cabot. Just don't say that it's from Scrooge.
Would you like to buy some matches?
How could I refuse? Let's
There we go. See, okay, that part, yeah.
make Bob stay on Christmas Day.
She didn't hand over the match. She still has it in her hand. Give him the match. Don't run away. Give him the match first. He's got one job.
So Scrooge is shaving, but he can't stop shaking. He cuts his face in 80 places, but he doesn't mind it. He's too excited, running outside to see neighbors' faces. Shouting Merry Christmas to everyone and getting some funny looks from some. And just by chance he sees Donation Man.
My good sir, hope I'm not too late. Sorry I wasn't in grade yesterday, but I want to donate today if I still can.
And Scrooge gives such a massive gift. It includes years and years of back pay. A huge gift, such a generous gift that it very nearly makes a man fame.
Which I would not be surprised about, because my goodness.
Thank you, sir. Please visit me.
Will do, Scrooge, certainly.
So happy to have met you, but I must run now to my nephews on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, there's a party at his place, so I can't be late.
I think this is where, like, Saunders was playing Christmas Day!
Christmas Day! Christmas Day!
Okay!
Oh, my friends, you'll never guess. You know how you're massively in debt?
Yes.
Well, how about we just forget?
No way.
Yes way!
I feel like I can breathe again.
I don't know what to say.
Scrooge.
I feel like I can breathe again as the same line she said before in like the in the future timeline. So yeah, this is a different timeline now. But also, hold on a second. No. She's wearing the hat in this version too, which means that Della lied. Her hair does not in fact grow back that quickly. It has been at least a year, if not more, in that future version, and her hair was still the same. So no, Della does not grow back. We've caught you now. Della exposed.
How can we ever thank you?
Friends, it's okay. It's Christmas.
Okay, hold on. Did she? Oh, I guess. Okay, so fine. He sold the watch to Scrooge. Interesting that he didn't like discount that from the debt, but okay.
Christmas Day!
Okay!
I guess that does kind of solve, all of the different issues that they had in the other timelines. Which, okay, fine. Scrooge is fixing everything from the future. Okay, sure. All right.
Scrooge gets to Fred's place and stands up.
Well, Jim thought she's beautiful. Maybe she keeps it short. The question is, why would she keep it short? Because again, and yeah, sure, Jim thinks she was beautiful, but like the way that Della was implied to like feel about her hair before was that she herself was super proud of it and didn't want to part with it in the first place. Like, yeah, sure, sure she was worried about what Jim would think, and Jim, alleviated that's like concern. However, like when you're proud of something like for your own self, for your own aesthetic, and you think to the point where you think like a queen and a king would be jealous of you as well and cast you looks, and as everyone does, like that feels like the kind of thing that if you are able to restore it, then there's no real reason not to. Especially when it's one of the only treasures that you have, aside from your husband and etc. That's what, yeah. At least that's my $1.80 about the topic. Because the cuts get still every now and then to help with the debt. Yeah, this is what I actually I think BB and I suggested that a couple of weeks ago. We reviewed like that part of the story. We thought that okay, well, this is this is what she could actually do and just keep doing that over and over again. In fact, why was she not doing that already? If it does indeed grow back that fast, you must have like cut it in the past to know how quickly it grows, and therefore and that will come back in its same like usual beauty and glory. So yeah, absolutely. If you can keep getting $20 or whatever we adjusted the inflation rate to, then by all means, continue to do so, is my idea behind that. So yeah, so yeah, we thought that 100% she could keep doing that. Maybe now she'll be able to have it go back again. Maybe the last scene will have her appear with like her actual or something. No idea.
Outside the door, suddenly much more nervous than before when Fred opens the door.
See, there's the dancing Fred that, you know, we came to know the year before.
Scrooge wants to run away, not sure what to say.
It's your Uncle Scrooge. I've been a fool and don't wanna live as a stranger to you. Can you forgive a dumb old man?
Listen, man, of course I can.
Okay, honestly, like of all the lyrics they changed in this version, I was expecting "Listen, man, of course I can" to get a mention because "man" was repeated for like "you're dumb man, listen, man." That felt like it was too quick. At least I thought maybe they would have done something with that, but I guess I guess not.
Christmas electricity brought you here to me today. Christmas electricity is here.
I think you're right.
Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity all night.
Scrooge and Fred and everyone partying through the night. Scrooge never had so much fun in his entire life.
Oh, okay.
The next morning, Scrooge hurries to get to work early. He hides the grin from his face when Bob comes in late.
Conscious that.
So let me get this straight.
Oh wow, you actually could see the grin in his face for a second there, like as he turned around. God, there's so many solemn movements that AJ Holmes does in this. Fantastic. Remember this day for his entire life, he was just really eager. Well, yes, true. He was already in a party mood, so absolutely, yeah. Oh, you mean just because he wasn't like thinking about his words? Okay, sure, possibly. He's looking good in those shades. True, and I guess now, you know, Gone the Shades need to, you know, sell the ruse now. Sell the ruse of the rays.
You skip work, then come in late. Why don't you just rob me, Bobby? Or I'll give you a raise.
Wait, what?
A raise! Bob, I said a raise.
Sir, are you
Okay, this one verse why I prefer Sawn is like the here like be like it was like a nurturing father figure actually, where it's just like a raise, yes, Bobby, a raise, like that kind of thing.
okay?
Never better.
Being crazy.
No, Bob, you're priceless. Priceless.
Like that.
Merry Christmas.
Scrooge was better than his word. He gave it all and then some.
Some folks laughed and called it absurd.
Oh, there you go. Reconciles with Marley. Very nice.
But Scrooge just laughed along with them. Scrooge became a better man, like a second dad to Tiny Tim. So
Yeah, he's still sick. You don't want to tickle him too much. Again, we don't want to be tickling too soon now, do we?
in our own past, present, and future, we would do out to remember it.
So when you're stuck saying bah humbug, when you're shutting life out, think of how this Scrooge turned things around. The meanest man there ever was became the merriest man you ever found. The loveliest, the charmiest, most generous, benevolent, the nicest neighbor, the smile maker, the friendliest senior, the best of leader. No one sweeter than Scrooge.
Okay, one last thing. Actually, what I said at the very beginning that Mina worked better than bitter in this case. Yeah, another reason why is because Mina and sweeter rhyme, so it's like the beginning and the end also rhyme with each other. What a fantastic idea for the musical choice in the first place. Yeah. Penguins get one. Okay, I guess it's all of them. But... Okay.
Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. All around us, can't you see it's here? Christmas electricity, Christmas electricity. And my prayer is up to you this year. Just spread around electricity.
Okay, one final thing, and we're not going to linger on this shot of Kurt Mega's face for too long because it's an unfortunate pause frame. Yeah. One thing about Christmas electricity I forgot to mention is that a Christmas present in that version also tries to get the audience involved, like the actual movements. You know, having more of like a Usain Bolt type of idea behind them as well. Again, very 80s, of course. Usain Bolt of all people. He would have been like a child at most. No, but yeah, like this one, I don't know if they tried to get the audience involved. I just wasn't paying attention to them. So yeah, that's one other final thing, I guess. All right, so final thoughts on VHS Christmas Carol. What was all, and I guess maybe the whole thing as like the entire collection as well. But yeah, just as a just let's start off with having it, you know, be on its own because we compared it to the old version a lot and a little bit to the VHS itself. How does it stand by itself? Well, honestly, I guess the only issue is that the parts in this that are supposed to feel like they should have horror don't. Like again, I understand that they're not trying to go for something that's that scary. And I will say that, you know, especially because I watched the version as a child, I've seen far less scary versions because they kind of they really made it you know, suitable for kids, let's say, in that version from what I remember. Like for example, the gravestone scene in that story was basically Scrooge not being able to read his own grave and the kids having to yell out the name of it before he's like, wait, Ebenezer Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh my gosh, no! Like basically, it was kind of one of those, honestly. Like I said, not keen on that on any version, even the one that I gave a glowing review and got my my classmates to try to get the last remaining tickets for because they were almost sold out by the time that I, you know, by the time that we that I told them about it. So yeah, that's a concern with this one. Again, some of the lyric changes, mostly the opening number, I would have done without, but actually most of them I feel actually, you know, elevate the material. I mean, especially I was how they actually tie in the other stories towards the end, and I guess you know, give us like the happy end and the happy timeline. Like I said before, VHS Christmas Carol kind of seemed to have come about at a time where Starkid were, you know, kind of boxed in with all the Hatchetfield stuff and probably needed a breather. Like, yeah, like I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan of horror, but even to people who are, I imagine that every now and again, they just need something that makes them smile. And this story is definitely that. It makes them smile. All right. Now, let's address the story as a comparison to the old version, you know, the one that came out in 2022. That one, that one I definitely agree has better sound, and I feel like the musicality for the most part in that one definitely is far better. Some of the choreography as well, it was restrictive there, but it didn't feel like it. This one had a bit more freedom for it than with the movement of the characters, but felt more restricted, possibly because it was a much lower scale production, much lower audience in a you know, your standard black box studio. Because there are some things that, you know, even though it's like a standard theater layout, there are some things that you just, you know, can't do very easily in a black box studio. I think actually, you know, one thing about this, I guess that the camera work, I think it's probably better in this one. You know, we're able to get much more of more variety, much more of a closer thing there. Again, it feels like something that was made around the same time as Nerdy Prudes, which it was. You know, I've always said that Nerdy Prudes was like the ultimate peak for their cinematography. This one was definitely not far behind. As far as the switch arounds from the performers, it really depends. Because some people, for example, I definitely prefer in the older version, like Corey Doris as Fred. Again, like the energy that he brought kind of sold the idea behind the VHS version of Fred, whereas Brian's one kind of feels like the more down to earth one from other adaptations that aren't this one. It's just to go back and forth between like saying like, oh, this stuff they do in other adaptations that doesn't work in this one, but some things for the VHS format or like the VHS like branding basically. Some of them feel but some of them feel like almost necessary changes, but just fun ones in general. Again, stuff to make you smile. The character parallels in this one. That's also true. Yeah, again, the opposite ends of Fezziwig versus Bob Cratchit. Somebody who was once Scrooge's superior versus his only employee. And also Fred versus Tiny Tim, somebody who is a junior to Scrooge in his own family and the only family he has left, and somebody who's part of a numerous family, but is in danger of dying far too young, much like Fred's mother did. So basically not younger than her, but yeah, absolutely. And of course, there are far more examples of that. And yes, even the cameos definitely work in this one. But I mean, I guess if you're watching this in isolation, which you're not really, intending to, given its live performance and it was released at the same time as everything else, yeah, if it was in isolation, then yeah, the cameos would be kind of confusing, where people were cheering for, for the match girl reappearing, for example, or who the heck Jim and Della were and why putting out a pocket watch was so significant. Again, if you didn't watch the other ones, then you wouldn't get behind that. But as I've pointed out to me, this was intended to be watched all in one go, and people have resented the fact that I did not do so. So I do acknowledge that is definitely an on me thing, or it would be if I weren't, addressing it right now. So, final. Sorry, and also I guess because we've compared them a lot. Which Scrooge do I think do I prefer? I think this one, honestly. Again, he captures the age of the character as well as the gait and energy. Dylan Saunders had the gait and energy as well, but not really the age, I don't think, aside from, I guess, obviously, like, his beard and everything. Whatever. But no, like, AJ Holmes' expressions and, like, some of, like, the delivery of the lines, like, the way that he actually varies them up from what we were expecting sometimes, go from one emotion to another. That made all the difference to me. And there's so many even like subtle things, like like even as like his head moves towards the end, like keeping that grin, all the way like his breathy laugh, like like maybe it was the framing or something, but yeah, I just didn't get as much of that from Saunders. And yeah, like I know the beginning part was like the bar humbug scream was a bit of a point of contention earlier. I still really like that change. Maybe it's because I enjoy some elements of speaking going into musical numbers some of the time. It depends on how it's done. It's like in my own musical one time, there was one line that was supposed to be, stay here and where it's safe and don't go into the water. But the actor changed to stay here where it's safe and don't go into the water, which kind of works for like the gruff sailor character, lighthouse keeper that he was supposed to be. So yeah, again, when it works, it works. And I think, yeah, what AJ Holmes did this time definitely works. Some things I definitely prefer before, but yeah, that's like how this show made me feel more emotional. I mean, here's the thing about this one in comparison to like the old one as well. It can make you feel more emotional. It depends on which characters you're focusing on. If you're focusing on Scrooge, for example, maybe to some extent Fred in this version as well, Cratchit, who's the same in both, but obviously, under different circumstances. Yeah, those ones will feel more emotional. If you happen to be distracted by, the mugging of Christmas past, or what's another example? I guess Static Future, but the one I'm thinking of now, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Marley as well. Or even Tiny Tim, that seems to have going much more for the laughs this time versus the emotions from the original. Like, if you focus on those characters, then it will take you out of it because the humor goes almost too far the opposite direction. Like I said this before, that in an episode of My Day 5 Years Later on my main channel, there are some times where things can be too funny. Like, I remember talking about like an episode that was supposed to be like about the main character being in intense pain, and her boyfriend supporting her throughout the way. And she's supposed to be like, okay, she's suffering in bed the whole time. There's nothing they can do about it. Just try to make her as comfortable as physically possible. But the way that everything was delivered, it just played into laughs. It made me laugh at least too much. So again, I thought it was too funny. This, again, same issue. In some cases, it was appropriately funny, but I just mean like those characters particularly were very distracting. So ultimately, I think actually, if you're like me and you and like to have VHS Christmas Carol live in the background, sometimes we're doing other things, like when I was doing cleaning the house a couple of weeks ago. That was what I had on, and yeah, that feels, and then you just like envision it for yourself. Then I think the old version still is the best. Again, music and sound definitely kind of like portray that. However, if you want to actually, see something, you want to experience like the full thing, the full collective package, I think this one is probably the way to go. Give or take, having watched Little Match Girl and Give the Magi first, obviously, which, in the case of this one full video was meant to be, most people have. So they have different strengths, but yeah. So I guess to pick your poison. Okay. Now to wrap things up, I will then address I will address like the VHS Christmas carols as a complete package together. At the end of the trilogy. So yeah, I think I said before, Gift of the Magi was in comparison and almost nothing burger compared to like what came after it. It felt like it was repeating itself too much because it had very few songs. The ones that it did, it repeated a little bit too often. The way that it tries to portray the characters' squalor and poverty was not effective based on like the attire that they were going for and the aesthetics in the first place. And the internal logic just contradicts itself around every corner. Definitely the weakest of the bunch. So it's good that it's the first, I guess. So so if you want to watch the whole way through, you're not stuck with it for too long. Little Match Girl improved those aspects. I think it was the most emotional out of all of them, mainly because of the grandma. Despite what Christmas Carol will provide us later. It definitely feels it goes into like the realms of the bizarre, or at least for me. But then again, that's the story that I am the least familiar with out of the three. So that could just be in a case of me not knowing what to expect, essentially. But yeah, it was definitely an improvement over what came before it, and now going into Christmas Carol, it's very clear that this is where all the reference came from. Because first of all, VHS Christmas Carols already tells you where their focus is going to be. But the fact this was that an intermission, this was double the length of of each individual show, so can put together they make this one. To Be Light in the Dark was crazy emotional. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was saying before. Like it's the peak emotionally speaking for me, at least in this collection. But as far as the quality goes, yeah, clearly this is the ultimate one. Mostly because it involves it involves everyone. It doesn't have it doesn't have only just a handful of characters. Again, based on source material, that's kind of how unavoidable, basically. Um, and and yeah, like they performed it before. Like they had it. They knew how to well they knew how to improve what they already had, make it even grander in some ways, and more unique. Like again, it's very it seems clear that yeah, the emphasis went there for good reason, but also it does mean that the other two stories suffer by comparison. Now they're probably performing their VHS Christmas carols this year, and and chances are, if you happen to be lucky enough to have already got tickets for those, and live in a country where you can actually go and see them in the first place, then you'll most likely be greeted to the honestly probably even more public domain stories, maybe, or was one more potentially. I have no idea what the lineup is going to be. But I guess more refined versions of the two that they debuted, I believe, in this one. So you have to let me know in the comments if you happen to go and see those, what that was like for you. It's just a shame, I guess, because this version now that's superior to what came before in some major ways is only going to be available for limited time, and eventually be put behind a paywall that not everyone's going to have access to. So yeah, I'm glad that we were able to review these when we got the chance, and we'll see what happens in the future as far as the video in question. And Starkid, if you're watching this, please don't take these videos down, because yeah, I can always unlist them. That is not a problem. But yeah, this was a great experience for us overall, and I guess a good enough Thanksgiving for me. While I premiered another 5 years later, as per my traditional schedule. So I guess that's everything. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates it once again, and thank you to those who do celebrate it and have joined, or just in general, obviously. But I mean, specifically the ones who, have taken time out of their family time to come here for nearly 3 hours. So, yeah, to the VOD watchers, you made the wise call. I hope your families appreciated that. But yeah, again, I appreciate the live viewers too, obviously. Because, like I said, in theater and performance in general, I like to interact with an audience. And, the fact is, we have an audience right here, and an invested one at that, as is the Starkid way. But yes, alas, it is now time to go. So please leave a like or dislike. Oh, no, sorry, wrong outro. Let me know your thoughts of liking or disliking, and leaving your comments on things I missed out on, or your live experiences, or honestly, what you thought of the graveyard scene. Am I alone in disliking that one? What is the consensus on that one? That's what I want to know. But in any case, happy Thanksgiving, Merry early Christmas, and I'll see you all soon enough in another Butter Bunch video. Toodle pip.